The Lord be with you.
And also with you.
God of the church, you give the church a treasure in Jesus Christ. Draw us into the gift of faith, passed down from generation to generation, and remind your people that faith, the size of a mustard seed, is enough. Bless our Bible study together. Bless us as we seek understanding, enlightenment, direction, love, and gratitude for what you have already provided through the power of your Spirit and your promises. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Is that a sign there's someone coming in?
Carol's going to the kitchen.
Oh, okay. All right. So I think we're on page 14 of our book. Did you have any things you want to say about last week that came to your mind after we had our Bible study?
I think it was a good opening for people to...
I'll never forget that I paid my offering. I won't forget that, because that's so typical. To pay my bills, pay the offering. At least I didn't want to forget that in that respect, because I do have other responsibilities, but I want to make sure the offering is taken care of. So it's everything else in the checkbook. No, that's good, because it's, I could say I want to give, what's the word, instead of paid, I don't want to just say I want to give out, but what about all the other bills? I want to give my dues or give my... Cover my obligations and responsibility. Anyway, but it was so much easier to say I paid my offering. And that sounds like a bill, doesn't it? I paid my offering. I won't forget that. That was an insight I never even thought of, and I didn't think anything of it. I was just more concerned that I paid it. I didn't forget. That was my more concern, how I got that done. But I still like the whole perspective, paid. So I won't forget that. That was an insight for me. And I'm glad you picked up that.
That's good.
It doesn't have to be a long thing. It just, right there, short period, boom, there you go. Okay, we're on page 14. Now, Jen, we open up our book, our Bible. You have a Bible? Over there. And then we're going to Genesis chapter 2. So it's in the front portion of our book. Genesis chapter 2. Genesis chapter 2. Genesis chapter 2. And Genesis means in the beginning. Can you believe that? It sounds like a good name for a book, in the beginning. I like this book. It was in my office. My first one is broken in half.
From use.
Yes, from use, and I used it a lot. And then I said, well, the Bible's falling apart, but I'm not. I like that line. Okay, 10 to 12. It's only 2 verses. Who wants to read?
I'll start it.
Okay.
A river flows out of Eden to water the garden, and from there divides into 4 rivers. The first is named Pishon.
Pishon.
It flows through Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of this land is good. The land is also known for a sweet-scented resin on the onyx stone. The second river is named Gihon. It flows through the land of Cush. The third river is named Hiddekel.
Oh, I got Tigris down.
And flows east of Assyria. The fourth river is the Euphrates.
Okay. That's it. Gold, silver, and jewels are among the most recognizable measures of wealth around the world and throughout the ages. The first mention of gold in the Bible appears in Genesis. There is gold in Eden, the Garden of Delight. The Garden of Delight. I think gold is wonderful to look at. It shines. It reflects the light. God gave to the first humans, before deception and lies, before our earth parents reached out to grab what wasn't theirs, before broken relationships, before budget fights, before money worries, there was more than enough. Clean and flowing rivers, gold, perfume, and jewels were in abundance. There is nothing wrong about appreciating things that glitter. What a lovely childlike view of God's goodness. Eden is a land of treasure. I would call it a land of paradise. Paradise. You got running water, you got a lush garden, and you've got beautiful things and also aroma. You've got that perfume, you got that aroma. So why wouldn't it be a beautiful place? Why wouldn't it be paradise? Why wouldn't it be a garden of delight? This is God's creation before things went downhill. So God creates wonderful, beautiful things for us to enjoy, to us to experience. I was thinking when the first snow falls, even though it reminds me of winter, it's still a beautiful, delightful thing, exciting thing to see because it's fresh and it's the first snowfall or frost. Sometimes the frost because it's so different, it's so beautiful. It's before it melts and that sun glistens because it's not warm enough yet to melt it, but it shines, it glitters. It's beautiful.
It looks like jewels.
Yeah, it does look like jewels. Diamond on the ground, diamonds. That's one thing I noticed. And then I think I read in my Bible study this morning to see, maybe it wasn't this. I was reading this. Yeah, maybe. When Ukraine had its first, I won't say first, let's say second independence, because they're under war. There was a Ukrainian church near where I worked in Logan of Philadelphia. And I think it was Nice Town. They called it Nice. It wasn't nice. It wasn't very nice, but it was still called Nice Town, that section of Philadelphia. They never painted their top roofs or their points. And it was like deteriorating gold. And once they got their second independence, they painted it all gold. And it was just, you can't help but see it. It sticks out. It's like it's above all. It's not the tallest building, but there it is off of Roosevelt Boulevard. You can see the Ukrainian church with its new golden roofs. And it was a delight just to see that. And they also experienced their thanksgiving to God and also the freedom that they had with their countrymen. Even though they're in the United States, they enjoy that relationship with their people, with their ancestors in Ukraine, and for everybody else in the world. But then when the war broke out, I said, I wonder what it looks like now. Because they don't try to fix it or keep it that way. If there is trouble going on in Ukraine, they tend to show the sadness. So they might leave it just until it deteriorates and comes off before they would do it. But if God help Ukraine, if they get independence from this war, get freedom, peace, hopefully, they will repaint that again as an answer to prayer and bring glory to that temple. So that's a very significant visual effect to see that. Yeah. I don't know the name of the Ukraine church. I could look it up. I want to say St. Mary's, but I don't think so. But yeah, Ukraine. There's a lot of Ukraine churches in I would say, not only in the Center City area, but also at Greek, but also further outside of, right before the borderline into Elkins Park, Melrose Park. You have a lot of Ukraine churches. I was kind of surprised because when I get lost and drive around, I say, oh my gosh, there's another Ukraine church. Oh, there's another Ukraine church. I look at churches, so that's just what I see. But they're gorgeous. And they show a lot of gold when it comes to showing the people of God, and they show the ancestors of the faith. They have them in gold so that they reflect God. That's what I understand. And of course, you can't help but see it. Any thoughts on this section of the Bible study? Okay, going to Exodus chapter 25. Genesis, Exodus. Exodus means exit. Get out. Genesis, Exodus. Exodus 25. I've been in that church too, that Ukraine church in Philadelphia. 8 through 13. And then you also have 1 Kings 6, 19. Well, let's do Exodus first. 25, 8 through 13. Who would like to read?
The last time.
I know you did.
Turn.
Freddie, can you read?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The people must make a sacred tent for me, so that I may live among them. Make it and all its furnishings according to the plan that I will show you. Make a box out of acacia wood, 45 inches long, 27 inches wide, and 27 inches high. Cover it with pure gold inside and out, and put a gold border all around it. Make your carrying rings of gold for it, and attach them to its 4 legs, with 2 rings on each side. Make carrying poles of acacia wood, and cover them with gold.
Okay, that's enough. You just covered a lot of the interior design of the tabernacle with regards to this tent, this place where God is present with the people in their journey and their travels, because they have to pick up stakes, fold it up, and when they move to another place in their journey to the promised land, put it all out, put it together again, set it up, until God says it's time to move again, and pick it up. But definitely gold is used there in the place where God is present with regards to worship. 1 Kings chapter 6. 1 Kings chapter 6. Who's got that?
Well, I happen to have it marked here.
Oh, good. That's a
The
good.
inner sanctuary within the temple was for housing the chest of the covenant of God. This inner sanctuary was cubed, 30 feet each way, all plated with gold. The altar of cedar was also gold-plated. Everywhere you looked, there was pure gold. Gold chains strung in front of the gold-plated inner sanctuary, gold everywhere, walls, ceiling, floor, and altar. Dazzling.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Who would like to read that paragraph? Judy? When God directs?
When God directs the chosen people to build first an ark and then the temple as places where God would meet them, there's a remarkable amount of gold involved. Mm-hmm. Some of us would rather encounter God in the golden rays of a sunset or the gold shade of trees in autumn. And yet many churches, mosques, synagogues, temples, and other houses of worship make extensive use of gold and silver in their decor. Maybe there's a deep human desire for such materials to serve as signs of devotion and holiness.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say it catches the eye. When you see a house of worship, outside as well as inside, with gold used in its decor, it catches your eye. It's got something that's visual and bright because of the sun. But even on cloudy days, you could still see that gold. You could see that gold. I don't know about nighttime, but
well, maybe it has something to do with the desire to show the glory of God.
Yeah, and
something that just kind of takes your breath away.
You wouldn't see in your regular houses, and like people's in the houses they live in. That would draw attention for someone to steal that. I'm sure that other churches would also draw attention, even though it's a house of worship and it is a place where people commune with God. It also draws and invites those who are robbers and thieves that would want that gold. They would want those wonderful places of artifacts, gold, and use it for their own purposes. But then again, it's just striking. It shows give God your best. I mean, one other thing, I mean, yes, gold, but God wants our hearts. God wants us. We're the treasure, just as Jesus Christ is our treasure. It's a relationship. It's not just gold. That's just one of the things that we can offer for the mission of Christ, to support and do the mission of Christ from now until whenever God returns. Amen.
And it could just be human understanding too. That what was valuable to the human, they used that to show their devotion. It wasn't necessarily that God said, whoa, for me, you got to use the gold, the silver, and the jewels. I don't see that in, he's given dimensions about things and used this material, but I don't know if we have acacia wood that we use in the church now for anything in particular. I mean, I see it more as human interpretation of something that God didn't necessarily say, this is the best thing, this is the thing that you want. It was just maybe something that was scarce for them, and so they said, we got to give what we deem to be valuable to God.
Yes, it becomes
kind of a,
God takes our treasures for the purpose of showing God's glory, presence.
But he never said, that's the,
No.
You can't use anything but gold because I need gold.
Yeah.
God never really said that.
No, he needs the people's hearts. He always says that.
Right.
He always says, I need your hearts. I need your faithfulness. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But it does show that you don't hold on to these treasures. You give it to the Lord to bring glory to the temple, bring glory to the place where God is present.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in one of those movies. I'm trying to think. I can see it in my head. The idea of the chalice of the Lord, the cup for communion. And so the people who thought the chalice was gold or diamonds, very richly ornate, they thought that was the original chalice because they treasured that with its richness, its value. But it was just a plain ceramic clay cup. It had no beauty in its own. So that would be more likely the cup Jesus would have served the blood of Christ and then the body of Christ on the plate. Nothing with gold and diamonds and all that other stuff. That wouldn't be there. I'm trying to think of that show. It's a series of them. It's a series. And he always was looking for archaeology and finding things. He was always looking for gold and for treasures. Come to think of it. But he discovered that the treasure was the plain cup, not the one with jewels, the chalice. I could see his face, and I can see, but I can't remember. It'll come to me. It's that age thing. Yeah. Okay. So they use gold again to show their reverence and their love for God, and also the presence of God. Revelations 20. Wow, now we're going to the end of the Bible, the book of Revelations 21. I have a head cold. I don't know if you noticed.
You sound pretty good.
Oh, thank God. I think it's passing. This too shall pass.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
21.
Yeah, my nose is kind of opening up more, and I'm happy about that. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I had congestion. That's what it is.
Doesn't feel good.
No, it's a pain. I haven't got there yet. 21. Oh, there it is. 21. What's nice about this book, it's light. Like the blue is very light, so it's hard for me to actually see it. 21:15. And then it goes to 18 to 21. 15. Figured. There you go, 21. The angel who talked to me had a measuring rod of gold to measure the city and its gates and walls. Okay, you have that. Then, 18 to 21. The wall is built of jasper, while the city is pure gold, clear as glass. That's interesting. The foundations of the wall of the city are adorned with every jewel. The first was jasper, the second sapphire, the third agate, the fourth emerald, the fifth onyx, and the sixth carnelian, the seventh chrysolite, and the eighth beryl, and the ninth topaz, and the 10th chrysoprase. I have to look that up. The 11th jacinth, I'm guessing. The 12th amethyst, I forgot that one right. And then goes on. And the 12 gates are 12 pearls. Each of the gates is a single pearl. Isn't that amazing? And the street of the city is pure gold, transparent as glass. That's amazing. It's like, I always think of it as a reflection. But they say transparent, so it's like a window. Mm-hmm. You can see through it, but it's gold.
Like being at the top of Lucy the elephant, looking down through the glass floor, down to all this stuff underneath.
Was the floor gold?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not that fancy.
So gold is mentioned again in the last book of the Bible, when John of Patmos is given a revelation of the New Jerusalem at the end of time. This vision is a glimpse of heaven, God's new creation, the forever and perfected Eden. Instead of taking this as a literal depiction, could the biblical text be inviting us to become like children who marvel at this vision of a land where treasures are not hoarded, but provide delight, even for our feet? Maybe in eternity we'll get to ice skate on a lake of gold. That sounds like winter. As mature believers, we recognize that life in the presence of Jesus the Lamb will be so much more than this. The greatest treasure of heaven will be seeing God and God's beloved ones face to face. Share aloud or reflect. What do the gold riverbeds of Eden and the ornate gold of the temple and the gold paved streets of Jerusalem mean to you? Stop right there. What does it mean to you? I'll say what I think. We only offer our best. We give God our best. It's the best of everything that's created.
See, and I would say, if you're using gold to pave the street, it's no more valuable than cement. That all this that you struggle to earn, to hold on to get, to admire, it's used to pave our street.
Yeah.
It's not something that we're going to look at the same way up here as you did on earth.
That's right. It's going to be a different appearance. That's true. What do you think, Judy?
I agree with your statement of God wants our best, but I always say your best today may not be the same as your best tomorrow. So if I'm offering my best today, that's what God expects. But then I offer my best tomorrow, which isn't the same as today.
Yeah.
Because that's what God expects then.
Yeah.
I'm not a person who is into ornate things. That's not my personality. So the fact that Eden was paved with gold doesn't impress me.
Yeah.
I'm more impressed with peace, with the relationship between God and Adam and Eve, which I realize that whole issue. But
Yeah.
that's more, impresses me more than the fact that the streets were paved with gold. And the New Jerusalem, that's, who wrote Revelation? John?
John, yeah.
wrote it.
At least that's what we say he did it.
That's his perception
It's a vision.
of perfection.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's mine or yours.
Yeah. Yeah, because you could even see who wrote this preparation said, the greatest treasure of heaven will be seeing God. There you go. See God. And God's beloved ones face to face. So seeing our neighbors, seeing our family, seeing friends, being in the community of God and angels.
Seeing enemies.
Yes.
If God saves everybody, if that's our theology, come to God, then God's going to save people we don't like as well. So we're going to see friends.
Yes. And those.
But we're going to see those that we don't think so much of, because
It's
God's decision,
that's
not
not
ours.
mine. That's true.
And hopefully we'll see in a different way. as
Oh
well.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, to say that now, well, we'll see them, but when we do see them, we won't have the same feelings we have now.
Because it'll be transformed.
Mhm.
We'll be different. Our vision will be more enlarged. We'll see more than what we see now. We can't see everything. We don't know what's behind the scenes. We don't know what they've been through in their life, unless they tell us.
And even then,
Yes, that's right. And everybody has a different story. And everybody has a different perception of their story, too. Because like we said, yeah, I'll leave it like that. So it just gives it gives hope, I think, to see that God's temple, which was destroyed, the temple that was written, yeah, in the book of Revelation, the original temple is gone and stripped of all its gold and silver and any other jewel.
And it's sacred. It's because
they did not obey. Yeah, they didn't obey. And so that was all. They lost the land. They lost the land. In Babylon, they lost the land. They lost the king. They lost the land. They lost the temple. But what did they gain? A God who is faithful, a God who forgives, and a God who continues to lead them with his promises, with the assurance of his word, with his peace, his understanding. And that's a journey. You just, things come and things go, but that doesn't mean God has not left the building.
Yeah.
He hasn't left you. That's more comforting than the building. But I think, people are just like, there goes the temple, Yeah. And they remember the past. Oh, I wish for the days of long ago. But I was thinking of someone else who has a lot of gold in their
Too much.
in their house.
I had a question for Judy that goes to the second one. Does your congregation have gold, silver, or other precious decorations? Now, I would think of the stained glass windows. Those are pretty fancy decorations. But you're familiar with all of the communion elements and things, and we don't have anything that is...
Yeah, it's silver plate and sterling silver. They're not worth much on the open market.
Yeah.
They're worth something to us. Hence, we lock the sacristy door. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But be that as it may, that's what we do. That's a whole other discussion. But no, our chalice, the chalice needs to be replaced. Not tomorrow or next week, but the inside of it with the wine, it's beginning to wear away.
Yeah.
Do we still have the clay or the?
Ceramic
Oh,
ones?
we
Oh,
have
yeah.
numerous of those because every youth gathering, you could buy the communion sets that were used to commune 35,000
Yeah.
on
Oh, I
Sunday
didn't
morning.
realize that.
Yeah.
And so Pastor Mark always bought two, one set for us, one set for himself. So we have ceramic, which we use during Lent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't use the silver during
Yeah.
Lent.
And it shows the earthly element.
Yeah, it takes away the beauty. Lent is not meant to be beautiful.
Right.
So we
I
do
wondered
use
if
them.
I wondered if there were some things that we never see that were gifts to the church or somebody bought as a memorial or something.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff is, but it's not.
That fancy.
It's not that expensive.
I
And
was,
and yes, you have the stained glass windows. We don't want to think about having to replace them.
yeah.
Trinity Wildwood needs theirs a lot of work, not replaced, but a lot of work, and they're talking $350,000.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
So
Sounds like they have to so the glass doesn't fall
the
out.
glasses because they have to be re-leaded.
That's it.
Um,
Re-leaded,
And
that's
the
right.
lead is beginning to deteriorate.
Yeah.
Not
Not
the
the
shore.
Yeah.
Salt air.
Yeah. Well, we had a Muhlenberg Memorial. Our opening and closing those are the first ones to fall apart. So Dr. Kudakunz, he extended the money to have all those fixed. The rest of them, well, eventually, but the rest they weren't touched. They weren't open and closed during the summertime.
St. Peter, 10 years ago maybe, had to have their big stained glass window, which is above their altar, that you can see from the outside.
Wow.
They had to have that all re-leaded, and it costs a fortune. So, do we have expensive items? Yeah, we do. We just don't think about it. We think of gold and silver and shiny up front, but the windows, as you mentioned, are a huge piece of who this congregation is.
Yeah.
So do they enhance your sense of God's presence? Why or why not?
Well, when a person gives a gift, such as a very ornate communion set to the church for the glory of God, yes, it shows a person's love for God and the worship, and they want the best, again, to be present for communion. And maybe it'll be only used Easter.
Christmas and Easter.
Christmas
Yeah.
and Easter.
Because they might be in church.
Yeah, they
Christmas
might
or
be in
Easter.
church. Oh my gosh, you're so far ahead of me. Didn't see that coming. She knows who's sitting in the pew.
Not really.
I received a communion set from St. John's Melrose Park when I left there and started my ministry at Muhlenberg Memorial in Logan. And within 2 weeks, it was stolen out of my car. And it was a very ornate communion set, little individual chalices, very ornate, and it was expensive. And then one of my pastors said, well, you should go to all the pawn shops and say someone stole this from my house, because I didn't put my name on my communion set, but someone took it and thinking they could sell it. I don't know. They didn't bring it back.
Something else I thought of too were the vestments. The stole and sometimes the chasuble, is that what they
Yeah,
Chasuble, yes,
yes.
and we have chasuble and stole for every season. We have color for every
Yeah.
one of them.
I used to wear them a lot. Now that I'm older, I don't want to put on extra clothing.
It's very warm.
Because they're heavy. That's
They
another
are.
reason. They're heavy. And after doing service, at the end of service, you want to get them off so that you can. And the cross that I'm wearing, I have the lightest, that wooden
Mhm.
necklace is very light. And the people say, I can't believe how light this is. Yes, it's not a burden. This yoke of Christ is light, and this makes it easy. But even some of the wearing the stole
Mhm.
is heavy. I mean, they look nice, but after a while, oh my gosh, it's a weight on me that I'm not used to as you get
Good
older,
metaphor.
it's like, give me a light one that's not ornate. In fact, my stepmother made plain ones like purple, green, white,
Blue, maybe.
blue.
Red.
Yes, the blue. The blue is the best. But it was also the heaviest for some reason. Well, at least it was the short seasons. You'd have to wear it
Right,
too
only
long.
4 weeks.
But it was just plain, just the color. And but I left them all at St. David. I said, I didn't see myself working beyond my retirement. I didn't see. I said, oh, let them have it, let them have it. And then I kind of miss them now. Now I wish I go back and get them. I made a mistake.
Maybe not.
Well, anytime you want a stole that matches the paraments, we have them.
Oh, okay.
We have a stole for with every parament. We have a stole that matches.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I should wear that one that looks like the parament. There's a what about the table of the Lord at Easter? That
Oh, with
The white
all the
white one with all the leaves on it. You have a stole for that one? Oh, I should wear that. And that would match. You wouldn't be able to find me. I think he's in there. We can't see him. He looks just like the.
we hear him. We just
I can't see where he is. He's hiding. Yeah, call about camouflage. Isn't that funny? Okay. Yeah.
deep. I mean,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I guess it's just a question, but do you feel closer to God, so to speak, when you have the stole or the special things on?
Not necessarily. I have to remember to put them on, which is true. My sense of spirituality is thinking of God, what I'm going to say to encourage and nourish God's children, God's people. Being in music, to me, that's inspirational. That's beautiful. It doesn't really have to be the scenery. I mean, the old wooden cross to me is very precious. To see that cross carried out on the boardwalk on Good Friday, and then come back into the church and stuff. Talk about a movable piece of furniture that's out there to be shared with the world. And we're doing that because it doesn't stay put. It's not stationary. And we are not stationary. We also go out. So in a sense, that has the most amazing perspective of that it doesn't stay. It doesn't stay. It moves.
And it's the plainest crucifix.
It's the plainest one,
well,
but it
cross.
has the most.
It's not a crucifix.
To me, yeah, it's a cross. It's the one that has the most. I have a very close. I'm drawn to it, and it's emotional for me just to see it and then to be with it. It was It strikes up a feeling within me because of its use in the community and also in church during Lent. But yeah, I'm drawn to that. More earthy, I guess is the word I want to say. The Old Rugged Cross, which I like that song. So prayers also draw me closer, and the scripture reading also. Just the Bible reading like this. Don't have to have a lot, Did she make coffee or what? She did?
I think, yeah.
Oh. No, you don't have to go and get it now. I'll wait till later.
I'll go get it if you want.
Okay.
Twist his arm.
Be careful. Watch your step.
What do you put in your coffee?
You got a little milk? Yeah.
I don't think I have milk. It's powdered creamer.
Otherwise just straight up. Doesn't have to have that. Sometimes I put it to cool it off, but this is okay. Thanks. I just realized I could use some coffee. So Freddie, do you have any questions or thoughts?
Yeah, a couple of thoughts.
Okay.
One, I know it's in the New Testament, but I'm not sure what verse. But I know Jesus was with his disciples, and they were watching people put money in the collection box, and there was a widow who put 2 copper coins in the collection box, and Jesus told his disciples, "That widow has put in more than all the others. The other people put out of their wealth. She put her life saving."
Yeah, everything she lives on.
Yeah.
He gave it up for
Yeah.
the Lord. Yeah. Yeah, she was the one that gave the most.
Yeah.
Because we would say, oh, how foolish. What about food? What about, don't you have to pay rent?
Heat. Or
And obviously, no. That's not important. What is important to give to God first. Yeah. Yeah, I thought about that and it says, boy, I'm not even close. I'm not even close. But then even if it's not just the 2 coins, we're supposed to give our lives, our whole being over to the service of carrying on the mission of God's love to our neighbor, to the world. And that means even if we have to give up life for that, it's still worth it because we won't lose our life when we give up our life.
Luther's words.
Yeah.
Were they to take our spouse, goods, honor, child? Were they to take our house, goods, honor, child, or spouse, the life be wrenched away, they cannot win the day.
They cannot win the day. We have the treasure that will always remain. So it's like all that security, all the things we need to live life on a daily basis, if it's all gone, we still have God in the midst of our emptiness. God has not forsaken us. That's a good point. We mentioned the 2 copper coins that were put in by the widow in the treasury. Jimmy, right?
No, Fred.
Oh, see, I went to Jimmy. Fred mentioned that, and I says, yep, she gave up everything, her life savings, for the sake of paying her offering. Now, there you guys said pay again.
You said pay.
He gave her offering, but she gave everything. We would say that's not a wise decision.
It really isn't.
No, it is not wise according to material that's supposed to help bring food and pay for your rent and all that other stuff.
Because now you become, in our society, you become a ward of the state. Because somebody else, whether it's the state or my tax money or your next door neighbor, somebody now has to take care of you.
And I was thinking, in her time, who's going to take care of her?
Yeah.
If she's by herself, she has no son. She has no family. Unless someone outside of her family will take her in and care for her.
That's what Jesus calls us to do. Jesus doesn't say, take care of yourself.
No, he does
take
not.
Care of yourself.
He does not.
He says, take care of each other. Take care of those who need it. So, we're starting from 2 very different spots right off the bat. I mean, if you're a ward of the state and you cringe at that thought, which I'm sure we all would not want to necessarily be in that position, that tells you something about how we take care of each other or don't.
Yeah.
But we say, when we had the roof put on here, we needed insurance over it. But if we don't take care of St. John will not be here to take care of Easter seals or other things we do. But so if I don't take care of me, I'm not going to be able to take care of anybody else. And for me to live under the assumption that we take care of each other, which is wonderful, but does it happen?
Well,
yeah, that's the challenge. That is a challenging thing. It is. I do realize that even though here today, gone tomorrow, because anything can happen in our country, as I well know right now, isn't the government still closed?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying we're still living, but how long can we live like that without a government that's open?
And we're still getting Social Security.
Well, for now.
Right.
I mean,
but
for now.
We're still getting it, and there are people that are not.
Are not getting it.
Are not being paid.
Yeah.
So imagine the
pain.
fear and how do they connect, because even the people they might go to in certain social service agencies aren't working either.
Right.
So how do you get that going? And
you have to wait until it's open again, if it opens again.
And that's
That just goes to show you that you can't rely on what you assume will always be reliable. And not today. I've learned that not today. If I have whatever I have today, be thankful for what you have today. You don't know if you'll have it tomorrow. Especially when you have hurricanes and tornadoes.
Exactly. We could have had a lot worse damage.
Yes.
All the way around. Yeah.
Did you know that in Alaska, they had the remnants of the typhoon? It's the worst tide, what's the word for the 6 feet, 0.6 inches? The surplus above the tide, and it disheveled houses and all that, which has never been heard of before. In Alaska, it was the remnant of a typhoon. And this is the largest, I don't know what you're going to call that, but it's the effect of that. And it's never been recorded that the water would be ever that high. So now they're having water that high, which they did not anticipate. To me, I says, there you go. And the weather people were surprised. They didn't see that coming, but they did record it because that means it's possible to get that again. We think about tsunamis, but now the backlash of a high tide, and then also you got a storm, and then all that water. The surge, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Anyway, it's just amazing.
But also, I think it was last year, Saudi Arabia had snow for the first time.
Wow. That's true. You wouldn't think about that in a nice desert place.
Yeah.
And they also have a lot of gold. And a lot of glass where the windows reflect everything. You ever notice that? What time is it?
We have about 15 minutes
okay.
left.
So, money troubles, arguments, slavery, betrayals, and lies. Genesis 13.
Back to the front.
Yeah, back to the beginning. There we go. Dubai, snow. I do remember that. That you brought it up, Freddie. 17.
I've got it.
You got it? Okay.
So Abram left Egypt and went back to the Negev, he and his wife and everything he owned, and Lot still with him. By now, Abram was very rich, loaded with cattle and silver and gold. And we jump down to 5. Lot, who was traveling with Abram, was also rich in sheep and cattle and tents. But the land couldn't support both of them. They had too many possessions.
Wow.
They couldn't both live there. Quarrels broke out between Abram's shepherds and Lot's shepherds. The Canaanites and the Perizzites were also living in the land at the time.
Yeah, parasites. Or maybe another word that way. I have 1 Corinthians chapter. Are you done with reading? Because there's also
that's it.
23 and 27 in Genesis. There was 9:13 and then 23:27.
No, I thought it was 9:13, 1 to 2, and then 5 to 7. Oh, and then you're down to the next one. I didn't know if you were going to do that paragraph in between.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I jumped down too soon. Okay, riches can be good, and Abraham and Sarah are very rich, but gold and silver do not buy them much in the way of treasured family relationships. This passage, the earliest biblical mention of wealth, describes possessions as a source of conflict in the extended family. The Bible describes life in gritty realities. Most of us can relate either from our own lives or from the lives of the rich and famous we hear about today. Boy, isn't that true? What do they call it? Reality? TV reality?
Reality TV.
Yeah, reality TV. Watching people, housewives, and their battle between what we have, what you don't have, or what we have more of than you do, and all that. That's that kind of give and take, or.
But it isn't really give and take. It's
take.
And it's relation. Definitely not healthy relationship.
No, not a healthy relationship. It is interesting that there was an awareness that they could not live together. That because of the relationship of the family, we can't stay together in the same land. There's not enough to support our wealth with regard, I'm sure, livestock.
Mm-hmm.
Because then the land would not be able to continue to sustain us together. So someone's got to go. We can't stay together.
Wow.
And I think that was a good sense of, well, most of the animals, they don't stay put. They have to keep moving to go find more grazing. Like with cattle and with sheep, you can't stay in the one spot. You got to keep moving. And with goats, got to keep moving. They'll eat everything to the stub, and then
it can't even grow back.
They won't grow back. Is right. So you have to keep moving. You can't stay together. And if you need a lot of land to move around in with your animals, your livestock, then you have to have more land. But they were not alone. They had 2 other communities living with them. Oh, brother. You know what that means. Things weren't always easy. Even for them. They don't tell us all the skirmishes they had to go through. And protection. They have to watch their livestock. Otherwise, it could be stolen or taken advantage of by the other communities.
Hence David. Well, he was a shepherd boy.
Yeah. That's right.
And why, did he have to confront this enemy, so to speak? Because obviously somebody else wanted to be in that spot as well. So relationships were just difficult all the way around.
Yeah.
And things haven't changed.
No.
Well, we still battle with that. Yeah. Okay, now I'm thinking Genesis 17, 9 through 13, 23 to 27. I have 1 Corinthians down already.
Okay.
Who wants to get Genesis 17, 9 through 13, 23 to 27? Fred, you going to get it?
Yeah.
Fred's going to get it.
Genesis 9 to 13.
Yes.
God said to Abraham, "You also must agree to keep the covenant with me, both you and your descendants in future generations. You and your descendants must all agree to circumcise every male among you. From now on, you must circumcise every baby boy when he is 8 days old, including slaves born in your homes and slaves bought from foreigners. This will show that there is a covenant between you and me. Each one must be circumcised, and this will be a physical sign to show that my covenant with you is everlasting."
And you got 23, 27?
20, yeah. Abraham approached the Lord and asked, "Are you really going to destroy the innocent with the guilty? If there are 50 innocent people in the city, will you destroy the whole city? Won't you spare it in order to save the 50? Surely you won't kill the innocent with the guilty. That's impossible. You can't do that."
I think you, Fred?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I think you turned a couple of pages
Oh,
because we're still on chapter 17.
Yeah, you're right.
It was a good read, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chapter 17.
Chapter 17.
Verse 23.
No, it's verses 23 to 27.
Right.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's it.
On the same day, Abraham obeyed God and circumcised his son Ishmael and all the other males in his household, including the slaves born in his home and those he had bought. Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised, and his son Ishmael was 13. They were both circumcised on the same day, together with all of Abraham's slaves.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then I got 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 23. You were bought with a price. Do not become slaves of human masters. Okay. Want to read the next paragraph?
You may wonder why we're suddenly reading about circumcision of all things. Yes, I was wondering. Did you notice that the word money is used 4 times in this Genesis 17 reading? I didn't notice that. Beyond the Garden of Eden, what had been free and abundant has become scarce, fought over, bought and sold, and even stolen. This includes the theft and misuse of human beings and the accumulation of wealth through slavery. Maybe it's no accident that the first biblical mention of the word money, kesef means silver, or money in Hebrew, refers to people being bought and sold. Whereas the earliest hearers of the scriptures may have wrongly accepted slavery as just a part of life, today these same scriptures challenge us. Can we see that something has gone horrifically wrong when humans, created in the image of God, are enslaved with an exchange of cash? Could there be a small sliver of resistance embedded in this creaky old story? Even the human, quote, bought with money, unquote, has as much worth before God as Abraham. God decrees that the slave equally carries in his body the strange and irreversible sign of circumcision, of God's election, favor, and promise. Fast forward to the New Testament, where Paul's letter to the Corinthians further subverts the recognition of what it means to be, quote, purchased for a price. Human beings belong to God. Never should they be reduced to a price within human systems of economy and control. Well, that answers the dilemma that I had with the reading.
Yeah, because I went, when you said it didn't mention money, it did in regards to the slaves.
Mm-hmm. Those
Because
brought from foreigners,
yes,
born in the house.
yeah, people were bought for a price. They were a product. They weren't people.
Well, even I think in the 10 Commandments, things are kind of, people are lumped in with things. Do not covet your neighbor's slaves or cattle or whatever. I mean,
Or
just,
anything that is your neighbor's.
yeah,
Yeah.
belongs to the neighbor, not God.
Well, this world is not, even though we consider ourselves advanced, it still exists, the human trafficking, and people are sold, still sold as slaves. It may be under a different term.
Right.
They don't say slaves, but they still become slaves because they can't get out of the circumstances where they are now serving as a slave. Because people needed a job, and they got a job, but they can't get out of it, and it's not enough to get out of it, out from it. They're stuck.
Or even indentured servants that had a particular time frame, but did they make it through that? And then the thing is, well, I was indentured, I put in my time, I was set free. It's okay for me to do that to somebody else. I survived. It perpetuates itself.
Yes.
And what did freedom mean? Justice today. What does freedom mean? Yeah, we're here. Nobody stopped us coming in. You came across the bridge somewhere. Nobody stopped you and said you can't. But what does it really mean? Do we have slavery in the United States? Not officially, but we do.
Yeah.
As you said, we just call it by something else.
Something else. I call it another name.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And we can't seem to get above it, beyond it, ahead of it. I don't know what term to use.
Yeah, what's profitable?
Rid of it.
It's
Oh,
profitable.
there you
It's profitable. When you think of the
it's-
sweatshops, the workshops, even in the industrial age, children labor to work in those industries because it was cheap. You didn't have to pay them anything, pay them less. And the women are still paid less than men.
That's right.
So they're still underneath that equal pay for equal work. It's not the same.
Or even the opportunity to get the job in the first place, even if you're going to be underpaid.
Yeah.
You know, the kinds of restrictions that we even face with the immigrant population. And maybe they're skilled, trained, have a degree in something, and had a different position in their homeland, and then catastrophe came, and they came here, and now they do what? Wait tables, work as a cook, park cars. You know, that's a form of economy and control.
Yeah.
I'd like to finish this section, and
Okay.
we're at an hour, so we can go a little further if we go to the next one, because that'll be a natural stopping place if you want.
Okay, go ahead.
Amos.
I'll read Timothy. How's that?
I've got Amos here.
I figured you
Amos,
did.
it's only 2 little verses, so it's not much. God's message. Because of the 3 great sins of Israel, make that 4. I'm not putting up with them any longer. They buy and sell upstanding people. People for them are only things, ways of making money. They'd sell a poor man for a pair of shoes. They'd sell their own grandmother. They grind the penniless into the dirt above, shove the luckless into the ditch. Everyone and his brother sleeps with the sacred war, a sacrilege against my holy name. Stuff they've extorted from the poor is piled up at the shrine of their God, while they sit around drinking wine they've conned from their victims.
And then from 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 9 through 10. But those who want to be rich fall into the temptation and are trapped by many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. In their eagerness to be rich, some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many pains. Wow. Do you want to read on, Fred? The Old Testament prophets?
The Old Testament prophets speak often about the corrupting influence of what the New Testament refers to as the love of money. Amos uses embarrassingly specific language to name several of the financial corruptions of his day. These include swapping a human life for the price of nice sandals, ignoring or violently pushing poor people out of the way, the buying and selling of women's bodies, and using the legal system imposing fines to support pricey drinks and temple programs.
Thank you. What struggles and abuses stemming from the love of money have you observed firsthand in your community, workplace, or possibly even within yourself?
Yeah. Easier to look at others than yourself. But I did have a thought that kind of came to mind. I mean, housing for people is such a huge issue that I think in our community we would rather have empty houses than an affordable place for people to live. That's just something, because where I live there are 4 units. I'm the only person there. I'm very fortunate to be there. But I look around the neighborhood, and in the summertime you can't park your car because there's so many people there. But that's only for 2-3 months out of the year, and the rest of the time those usable homes, you know, it's not like they're just tents and you can't live in them in the wintertime. Yes, you can. Nobody's living there. And yet they're either not offered as a rental, or they're offered at such a rate people can't afford it.
I met a neighbor at the pool, and she was trying to get a place where she wanted to own her own house. She's at a rental in this house or place, and she's stuck because they keep raising the rent, and she has to pay the rent. Otherwise, she doesn't have a place to live. But that takes away the revenue she's storing up to buy the house, and can't do that. So she's trying to get out of the community, which is raising prices, especially on the rentals, where people are stuck, and they still have to pay for that, to get out of there and find another place to live at a cheaper rate, or at least if you're going to spend that kind of money, it'll be my own house that I'm putting that money towards rather than rent, because it's not mine. And she had no control over that rent being raised every year. No control.
Nope, none whatsoever. Believe me.
Yeah, it's just like what? And so.
Well, there are some laws that say you can only raise the rent so much. I know my sister lives in the Bronx, and she said by law they cannot raise the rent more than 5%.
But you still hear on the news the landlords that are still not following the law. But you have to go after them, and they have to be.
Right.
And who's going to spend the money to go to
You
court?
have to have the money
To go to court
to
to
do
fight
that,
the landlord.
And then you have a very contentious relationship. If you need something fixed, it might be, if I could charge you more than 5%, I might be able to afford to fix it for you.
Or they end up fixing it out of their own pocket,
and
if they can.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Most of you realize that the middle of September, I took a bus trip to Mackinac Island, Michigan. Everybody on the bus trip was from Camden County, which was very strange for me. I'm accustomed to traveling, and where are you from? And I'm from Poland. I'm from France. I'm from, and we didn't ask that because we were all from
United States.
County.
Yeah.
When we got to Mackinac Island, we were on a tour of the island, and somebody asked the guide, how much do homes cost on Mackinac Island? And he said, most of them are at least $1 million. There was no reaction. Why? Because that's what homes are in Atlantic County, or in Cape May County. Not one of us said, that's what you would expect. That kind of a reaction would be, oh my goodness. We all just sat there and said, oh.
Kind of like home.
Yeah. And that's scary. After a while, when I really began to think about that, I thought, that's scary. That we have accepted home prices to be $1 million or over.
Yeah. Oh.
So that's one of the struggles that you realized even within yourself, that you didn't have that reaction of, that's not right. How could people afford that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, nowadays, there are a lot of problems with what people call squatters.
Because they can't afford.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking about this place back here, and I don't know what the law is. I don't know what their lease says, but they can't live there 12 months of the year. That can't be their permanent residence.
Oh, it's temporary.
So they own their property,
but they can't.
Their condos, but they can't live there 12 months of the year and use that as their permanent address. I don't know why. I don't know what the law says.
Some campgrounds are like that too.
But I thought to myself, I don't know what they look like on the inside, but certainly on the outside, they're well taken. They're well taken care of. I know who takes care of them. In fact, today they've got the truck out here. They're taking the awnings down.
Huh.
But those places sit empty.
And they may even, as a condominium, have a restriction that you can't sublet it, so to speak.
Oh yeah, I would think so.
So that might even be an additional restriction that they put on there that says, nope, nobody is going to be here. The structure will be here 24/7, 365 days, but we're not having people use it as a shelter.
Somebody would have to explain the philosophy behind that. And there may be a very good reason. I don't know that. But in talking about available housing,
Look at all the available housing in Ocean City.
Especially during the winter.
Yes. Well, not just the winter. I mean, a winter rental usually runs from October to beginning of May, usually through April. So all that time, you know, where people might be able to be off, you know, be having an affordable shelter, because if they're not renting it to somebody else, they're paying whatever the payment is, taxes and condo fees and whatever. So people can afford it to just have it sit empty. How can we afford? How can we all afford to have places sitting empty?
I think it has to do with money.
Maybe.
It must be cheaper.
No, the love of money.
Okay, the love of money. But
Well,
it's
that's
cheaper.
what we're just hearing. Money in and of itself
It's not bad.
isn't wrong.
But
What we do with it, the love of money,
yeah,
is the issue.
yeah.
How we pursue it. How we pursue it.
Mm-hmm.
Good discussion.
Yes.
We are over time.
Oh,
so
my
if you want to
goodness.
close with a prayer?
Yes. Repeat after me. For this,
For this,
for us,
for us,
God bless.
God bless.
Amen.
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 See, a short prayer.
A good prayer.
But it covers it all.